Welcome, everyone. My name is Keisha Smith. I am the SEDC coordinator here in the city of Saginaw. We work with small businesses within the city. We provide commercial funding to small businesses that are located within the city of Saginaw. My contact number is 989-759-1395. My email address is sedc@saginaw-mi.com. So we're going to have a series of 4 sessions. So every Wednesday for the month of October, we will be meeting from 11 to 1 via WebEx. And if you have not registered, you can still register and get added to the list for next week. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and present our presenter for the business plan writing workshop. That is Ms. Michelle McGregor. And I'm going to give you the torch. There you go.
So I'm ready?
Yes.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. We are one of four. Today is one of four sessions. And so I just want to do a major shout out. First of all, I want to say good morning. And then I want to do a major shout out to Miss Keisha Smith, who is running SEDC. Woo! Y'all give it up for Miss Keisha in the city of Saginaw, because I think that with the work that she's doing is really investing in our community in ways that is going to yield returns for our children's children. And so she works very diligently making sure that we have things that we need in our city in order for our small businesses to grow and thrive. So you all are part of, have signed up and joined for a actual working business plan workshop. And I would love to just extend a couple of housekeeping things. If you, now this is an actual interactive interactive session. If you're not talking, let's ask that you mute your phone, so then that way it minimizes the background noise and the chatter. And also it will also for the recording, when you want to go back and listen to everything, then you'll actually have the ability to have a clear audio experience. Secondly is that because this is virtual, we are like in all separate places. So some people may be driving and just listening, but if you have all the ability to put your camera on, please do, because I don't want to sound like I'm talking to myself. I do well with people. So if you have the freedom to do so, go ahead and turn your camera on, because we're going to be doing a lot of interactive things today. So thank you again for signing up. And hopefully the information that we are sharing today is going to be helpful for you to actually grow and or even start your business. So hope you got some pen and paper. If over to your, if you're looking down at the bottom, we do have a chat option. And with the chat option, you're able to type in any questions, and Ms. Keisha will be with us. So if there's anything that you want to ask a question about, you can put it in the chat, or just feel free to, I think there's a way you can raise your hand, and then you can actually unmute your microphone and actually ask your question verbally. So I'm open for all things. And because I want to make sure that the information we share today is going to be clear, concise, and something that you can actually use. So if you all are ready, we're ready to start session 1. And I am going to share my screen. Also in the chat, there are 3 dots that go down there in the lower right hand corner. If you hit it, there's a notes option that you can actually tap on, to actually take notes while you're actually doing this, and you can actually save it and download it to your computer. So you can actually physically take notes through WebEx just by clicking the three dots and clicking on notes. So if you feel like you just want to go ahead and type your notes, you're more than welcome to as well. So those are some of the options. Hi, Paul.
How you doing?
So good. Glad to have you here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, this is totally interactive, so feel free to uh-oh. Wait. Okay. So I'm going to share. All right. Are you guys ready? You can unmute. It's like, yes, we're ready. Michelle, give us all you have. So, okay. So here we are. So this is my name is Michelle McGregor, and yep, this is me. First and foremost, I am a entrepreneur at heart. I have an entrepreneur spirit. Back in 2004, I am a transplant to Saginaw. I moved here in 2001 or two to start a ministry, Kingdom Life Ministries. And however, I got really entrenched into to the city of Saginaw, and I currently am the executive director for Community Center, which is now an Envision Center, federally designated. So that's really good. I'll share more about that. I did participate in the Vision 2020 1,000 Leaders. I was a graduate of that. Also participated and graduated in class number 4 of Savalti, which is Saginaw Valley African American Leadership Training Institute. With my entrepreneur spirit, I actually believe that education is everything. So I actually dove into a nonprofit best practices. So because I run a nonprofit, I work to help sustain and build other nonprofits. I am a facilitator for Do Parent Education, where I teach the class, as well as a facilitator for AHA Process, when I teach Bridges Out of Poverty, Getting Ahead, Our Rules, and Getting Ahead While Getting Out. And during that time that I've actually participated and graduated from the Michigan Small Business Training Fast Track. They have an entrepreneurship training program with Kaufman that's out I think, in Kansas. And so they had a fast track program where I learned everything it takes in order to do and open up businesses, because I opened up a business in Saginaw. Boom. If you're familiar with Paradise Funeral Chapel, that was my very first business that I opened in Saginaw with Ivan Phillips. From the beginning to the end, I worked very closely with Sedc. I mean, you name it, from anything from starting a business to opening a business to understanding what zoning and planning, because we actually had to have the area rezoned. Working with the city of Saginaw in regards to the installation of the gate. So I have actually physically, you're not talking to somebody who just read a book. I've actually walked through these steps and opened one of the most successful businesses in the city of Saginaw. And I didn't say that person that it was successful. SEDC did. One of the board members said it. So I took it and I run with it and I share it everywhere I go. Now I do. So the name of my business is Ma'am Enterprises, and so it is a conglomerate of a couple of businesses. And so with that, my goal, my mantra is helping you to prepare your plan, which will position you to prosper. So I go by 4 P's. We prepare, we plan, we position, and then you prosper. Most times we get out of the gate and we don't prepare, and we have plan, but we position ourselves by going ahead and getting the EIN number and doing all the legal stuff, but we have not prepared nor planned, but we position we're going to prosper the way we thought. So hopefully today we can actually have an opportunity to have a conversation, because I want to hear from you as best that I can share information with you all today. So our agenda is that our whole goal is to have a clearly defined written business plan. That's why we're here. That's the goal. So week 1, we're coming out the gate. So every week you'll see the goal is that we're going to have a clearly defined written business plan. Our objectives are, we want to identify where your business is right now, if you have one or not. 2, we're going to be identifying your target audiences. We're going to actually today talk about your key messages, and we're going to dive into the components of your actual business plan. Now, number 1, 2, and 3 is really pretty much the preparation in order to get started writing your business plan. So, number 5, when will you get the plan done? That is most and key, because a lot of times we get started, and writing a business is tedious, and it can be challenging because it pulls everything out of you. It's like a full-time job in a sense, but it's your full-time job and it's your dream, your idea. So Keisha did the welcome. So let's do some introduction. Who's in the room? So this is an opportunity that if we're walking this journey for the next 4 weeks, we'd like to know who's in the room. So if you could share your name, share your business name if you have one, and what do you sell, or what is your product? Who would like to go first? I see Paul and Denise. They're the only ones I see on my they have cameras. So I'm gonna pick on y'all because I can see you. So Paul and Denise.
I gotta say ladies first.
Okay. Miss Denise, are you talking? You're muted. I'll mute your mic.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Denise Rogers. I don't have a business name as of yet. What I want to sell, I don't know. I have a couple of business things that's in my mind, and I need to get them down and tap into the audience. So which one is more feasible? So that's why I'm kind of here, so I can kind of narrow it down.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who else is visible? I'm sorry, I don't have you probably see me moving everything. I can't see. So.
I'll go.
All right, I'm ready.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm Paul. I run a business in Saginaw, Michigan. It's called P2 Customs. And what we do is I specialize in powder coating. So if you have like an old set of wheels on your car, they've seen a lot of winters and they're starting to get ugly and rusty, I can remove all of that and we can apply any color that you want.
Wow. That's really cool. Okay. Where are you located?
I'm at 1140 Butler Drive. It's the old Asher junkyard. So I
Okay.
just recently got my foot in the door, and we're still kind of finishing up our remodeling and everything like that. But for the most part, I do have everything in there and working.
Okay. Wow. So make sure you share your information in the chat.
Absolutely.
Okay. Who's next? Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Violet Burdett. I'm from Southern West Virginia, and I work with nonprofit organizations and strategic planning and things like that. So I always want to see what I can learn from anybody that's out there. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. Who's next?
Hi, Ms. McGregor. This
Hi.
is Kanisha. My name is Kanisha Mason. I do have a business name, a registered business name, and it's Three's a Charm, based off of my three daughters. And right now, I'm kind of like Miss Denise. I have so many ideas. And like Miss McGregor, I do want to build a conglomerate in the empire. But I think right now, initially, I want to probably begin with writing children's books and like kind of female children empowerment for female athletes. My oldest daughter is a varsity basketball player. My middle daughter is a competitive gymnast, and my middle daughter, she plays golf. So just being, young ladies and playing different sports, I kind of want to write maybe children's books or maybe self-help confidence books for young girls in that arena, and then maybe just throw other things underneath that umbrella, different accessories, apparel, just whatever. So I think that's one of my ideas. And under that conglomerate, I'm thinking about, I don't know, maybe a restaurant in property management. So I kind of want to do a couple different things, but that's just what I have in my head right now.
That is amazing. Now I will tell you this. I'm going to hook you up with a young lady. Her name is uh, Demi Nicole. Demi Nicole actually just released a book. She's in Omaha, Nebraska. She just did a book. She's going to be doing her book launch of a small African American girl who her first, she just shared on Facebook that her first story is about basketball. And so, so when you said that, it just lined up. But there's some other individuals, some other Black children authors that are out there that are that's doing the same thing you're saying, is actually want to empower young ladies and young boys. Actually, there's an author that's specifically for young men. So yes, I would love to connect you. So then that way, if you have any questions, see how she actually did it. And also thinking about self-publishing, if you're thinking about doing a self-publishing, or actually if you're looking for editors and things of that nature. So, okay, great. Who's next?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Crystal Marshall, and I am here in the city of Saginaw, and my business name is Call to Account. And my business, I specialize in bookkeeping services, tax preparation services for individual and small business, as well as some consulting services. I'm fairly new, but I joined this course to tap into what's available to possibly expand not only my current business, but future businesses. I am also looking to be able to pass information down to my children and other family members so that they too can start to look at the importance of small business in the community and generational wealth. So that's why I'm here.
Oh, well, welcome. Tax
Thank
preparation and
you.
bookkeeping. So, I'm going to be asking you questions, and when we get to the finance portion of this business plan, so that way you can help us all. How about that?
Sounds good.
Awesome. We're going to use your gift. So, who else is next? We got quite a few people here. Any-
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my name is John Quisha Fuller. I am a nail technician. Me and my sister, we have a shop we just opened last year called the Beauty Lounge, located on East Genesee. So we have that, and then I also have we have that as the LLC, and then I have my LLC for Quisha Nails. So I just, provide nail and pedicure services to both men and women.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Who's next? Nails. Yes. There's a need for that, actually. Who's next? No? Anyone? Scott, are you available to share? I'm just saying people's names now. Okay. Okay. Well, if there's no one else that's willing to share, kind of, uh-oh. Okay. Well, as we go along, hopefully, if individuals have businesses they want to share information, I want to thank everyone who did share. If you do have a business up and operating, go ahead and put that information in the chat because we want to one, capture that information, and then two, we want to support. Okay. So thank you for that. So you have a business now. So if you, with that business, do you have a business plan? Do you have a roadmap that's actually that's going to actually help you avoid some pitfalls? Do you have your business plan that's actually going to motivate and encourage employees? Do you have a business plan that actually will position you for funding? So let's talk about we're going to talk about defining your business planning situation, who your plan is for as far as the audience, creating a target audience and message, and then the business plan component. So with that, if you have a business and you don't have a business plan, we need to make sure you have a business plan. It's going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you actually chart your way the right way. And it will help you avoid some pitfalls or getting into places where you're not supposed to be because it seems like it's the right thing to do. And then it will also help you motivate, it will keep you motivated in regards to those days when you have challenges in your business and you just don't know which way you want to go. Taking the time to prepare your business plan now is going to actually help you like 5 to 10 years from now, or even a year from now when you see some different trends that are coming along. If it does not line up with your business plan, or if it doesn't line up with your core values, sometimes our heart can take us places and we're like, oh God, I need to go and do this. Well, within your time frame, is that the right time to actually do that? And that's what your business plan does. So the more time and effort you put into doing your business plan and preparing it and actually fleshing out the ideas and walking through the steps, it's one thing to just hop out there and just like, I got a service and I can go. But if your business plan is not set up to that, you can identify who your client is, because everyone has a specific client. And when you have a specific client, then you know how to market to that specific client. And so then that way it also helps you to identify what clients you're not supposed to have or what clients you don't want to have. Because sometimes you can have a business and you think you want everybody to come through your doors, but if they come through your doors and they don't buy anything, was it really effective? So let's dive into that. So you got a great business idea. So I appreciate some of you all who say, you know what, I got a lot of ideas and I'm here. And I'm just trying to figure out, which way to go. So with the business idea that you have, is it the one that you can say, okay, you know what, I can eat, sleep, breathe this idea until it becomes a full-fledged operating business? So let's talk about your business planning situation. Now, I have 10, so pencil and paper can come in because I'm going to put up some ideas and this is going to help us. So if you could in the chat, if one of these 10 resonate with you, can you put the number in the chat? Because I would like to know where people are when it's coming, when we're talking about your business situation. So the first one is we know we have a great idea. We're just not sure how to turn it into a business. Is that you? Or is this you? We have a great idea. Oh, I did talk twice. My sorry. We need to convince investors that we have a great idea to make them lots of money. Is that looking for some investors? We're attracting talented people in a highly competitive labor market. Are you a business owner and you're looking for good employees? Is that you? I'm thinking of going into business for myself, but I'm not sure where to start. Is that you? The next one. Our company has hit a few bumps in the road and we're struggling to get back. Are you already operating and you hit some pitfalls and like, man, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. How do we get out of this rut? Is that you? You can, that's one. We've had some financial and personnel problems lately, and our staff morale is low. So, are you a fully functioning business and you're here and just like, you know what, how do I help engage my staff or my employees or my investors in my business? Or are you at the place where you say, I want to sell off part of my company so we can focus on what we're good at? There are sometimes we have businesses that are in place that say, you know what, we've been in business for a long time. I want to get out of a portion of this, but I want to keep this portion because my passion has shifted in this particular area. And I see that another part of the business is not flourishing the way we want, or I have lost passion in it. How do we do that? We have an opportunity to grow our business, but we've worried about growing too fast. Have you just had a service that has just taken off and it's like it got ahead of you? How do you actually bring that back in? And what do you do to slow that process down so your business can grow the way that's comparable? And then the last one is thinking about introducing a new product or service, but we need some guidance. So, any of these 10 resonate with you? Any of these 10 resonate with you? If so, go ahead and put that in the chat. Okay, your business plan is a blueprint of how you plan to build a successful enterprise. So let's talk about your audience. Now, do you have right now who you're actually building your business plan for? Now, when we talk about your audience, we're talking about the individuals that you're actually shopping your business plan to. So if you know who your audience is, like for instance, you're looking for investment capital needed, then your business plan or part of your business plan is actually going to go towards investors. So that means that I have a slide for you all to show how you can actually target your audience. If you're talking about stock options, your current and the prospective employees, you want to tailor your business plan or portion of your business plan to your employees. And if you're just looking for customers and clients, then your potential customers will be who you will actually focus your.
I think that you're muted.
I'm back. Okay, thank you. So, Paul, I want to pick on you for a moment. Do you know who your target audience is? If you had to describe your target customer, what is your ideal customer?
I guess anybody who's into either customization or restoration. And it's not so much like, mostly like it's a lot of automotive people. It's people who really love cars from all ages, all different styles of vehicles. But we do everything from like motorcycles down to actual like antiques. So I have a pretty big market.
Okay. So if you do you know how much customization?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is the average income of your client or your customer base?
I don't know that.
Okay. I'm just asking because when we talk about actually identifying who our audience is, there's a marketing segmentation that you can actually do, and I'll send some resources in the chat towards the end. Where when we talk about um, our audience are the people who we see as our ideal client. Take a few moments, and I'm going to give you like at least 2 or 3 minutes on your piece of paper. Write down who you believe your ideal client is. What does your customer look like? Is it all female? Is it all male? Are they senior citizens? Do they have an age bracket? Again, this isn't going to be a working workshop, because what I want you to do is be able to picture who your client is, because when you can picture who your client and who your audience is, it makes it so much easier to laser focus on those individuals, so that when this comes down to actually doing your marketing plan will actually market to the people that you see as your ideal customers. So if I'm thinking of customization, I may not see for you, Paul, if she's not into cars, a senior citizen, age 55 to 65. So that person, I would not put any emphasis or any focus on that age bracket, because they're not the ones. So when you sit down and actually think of your audience and think about who you're going to be talking to, what does your customer look like? You want to be able to pinpoint down to the dollar how much money do they make annually, because that discretionary funds is for grabs for every business owner. Any business that's open, we're fighting for discretionary dollars. We want the business, we want the extra money. So how do you look and target your audience is going to make a big difference if you're going to get their money or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
So take a few moments, and I want you to identify your audience. Okay. Once you have identified your target audience, and you have looked at who you are targeting for your business, your message, the focus on your key messages you want your group to receive. What are you saying to your individuals that you're actually trying to get into your doors? People with different stakes in your business will reach a business plan with different interests and values. So that's what I was mentioning in the beginning. So this part of doing your business planning, this whole preparation piece, a lot of times, a lot of people just say, you know what, I'll figure it out later who my target audience is going to be. No, this is the time you actually identify that. When you actually sit down with yourself and with your idea. Now, when you sit down with your idea, and the idea is right there before you, because I'm gonna tell you this, let me just slow down. When we get down to the whole components of what are the components of an actual business, that's the easy part. The easy part is actually sitting down and saying, I know who I want to have work for me. I have my best friend. We are in business together, and you can list your resume. But when we talk about the preparation part of it, a lot of times, and I've seen this in Saginaw when we have done business expos. When we have done business expos, people come out the gate, they get their product and everything, but they never have, sometimes they struggle with the sustainability. They put all their money into product and never put the money into the marketing part of it, or they never put the money into how they're planning to sustain if business does not move. We're in a pandemic. So a lot of small businesses, I would say the federal government has been just tossing money at small businesses to make sure that small businesses stay afloat. And there was I don't know, Keisha, maybe you can attest to this, but there was so much money for small businesses in the city of Saginaw. And Keisha, can you correct me the percentage of people who actually qualified for that money? Okay. Am I?
There I am, trying to unmute myself. Okay, that is a true statement, Michelle. So we had a forgivable business loan program that we did here at SEDC, and you had to have a business. You had to be in business for 2 years, and your business had to be in the city of Saginaw to qualify. So that portion that Michelle was talking about, a lot of businesses are in business but don't have that business license. So that would be a disqualifier for you. So you haven't established or your business of the legalities of it.
How much money was given to the city of Saginaw businesses?
We got about $600,000.
Is it all gone?
No.
Keisha, what is one of the major things besides the legalities? What is one of the major hindrances for small businesses?
We have a lot of small businesses, like you said, that are business. You see a lot of people say, well, I have a business selling bonnets. I have a business selling do-rags. I have a business selling clothing. But the business is not established, so to speak. You're just selling stuff. So you say, I have this offer, so I feel as though I'm in a business. But in actuality, you're not. So
Okay,
you're just offering product. So to speak.
got you. So when we go into this, I'm going to share with you Dr. Barbara, I call her doctor. She's not a doctor, but Barbara Littles, attorney Barbara Littles, wrote a book about the seven mistakes, legal mistakes that a small business actually encounter. I totally jacked that title up, but it's a free PDF, and I want to share that with you all because that will fall in line to what Keisha is saying in regards to your legal setup. But your message and going back to your message and your target audience, your message and your target audience is what's going to actually drive people through your doors. Okay. Thank you, Keisha. Now, this is the business plan target audience. Can you all see this? Okay. When you're actually writing your business plan and actually trying to figure out who you're targeting your business plan to, your business plan can be up to, I would say, a minimum of 10 to up to 50 pages, depending on the extensiveness of your business plan. Now, in this table, you have bankers. So if you're actually looking to go to a bank to get a business loan, the most important components of your business plan they're interested in is your executive summary, your company strategy, your financials. They're going to look at your cash flow, your assets, and your growth, your potential to actually grow your business. Because the bottom line is bankers want to know how are you going to pay them their money back if they lend you the money? And are you a good risk? The ideal length to actually have all of these items is usually 10 to 20 pages. Now, if you're talking about my business plan is going to go towards customers, then customers are going to be really interested in your executive summary because the executive summary is pretty much your business plan on one piece of paper and your company overview. They want to know, are you stable? Do you have great customer service? And who is your management team? Who's running your company? When it comes down to your employees should be very vested and actually intertwined in your business plan, because they're the ones that's running with the vision. Your business plan is your vision. It is the plan in motion. It's the plan in action. So the executive summary, the company overview, the company strategy, and the action plan is what they want to see, because they want to know that your business is going to provide them a level of security, that they can actually grow with the business. It also helps them understand the goals and the objectives that they need to complete in order to fulfill the vision of the mission of the company, and also understand what are some of the business opportunities. Now, when it comes to the general public and your business plan, you want to shop your business plan to as many people as possible, because you want to give them the clear picture and vision of what you're doing. So your executive summary, your company overview, your vision and mission statement always goes a long way, and your values. What do you believe in? What are your core values for your business? Now, this is the part of the business plan writing workshop that I lose a lot of people, because it sounds as if like, man, oh my God, I got to do all of that. Absolutely, because we're talking about the actual health and wealth of your company. If you have already started a business and you don't have a business plan, you have already started out of the gate without any foundation to know if I had need a contingency plan. Let's just say you're in manufacturing and you don't have a business plan, but the part that you're trying to manufacture, they actually upgraded, and because you didn't know and foresee how to forecast an upgrade of a particular part, is not built in, but the part costs so much money, you don't have the cash flow. You don't have the cash flow because you didn't predict in your business plan that this particular piece can actually be upgraded, and how do we actually stay in the trends of things. So your business plan, and this part of it is very important. This is where we find out, do you have the actual temperament and acumen for a business? And I say that because most people have a great idea, but I have dealt with businesses that did not have their financials in place. They said they were going to, I'll use the funeral home. When we sat down, I had Mr. Phillips tell me, how many funerals are you planning on doing a week? How many you plan on doing a day? How many you plan on overall doing it for a month? You have to be so meticulous down to the day. How many phone calls, or if you're doing an e-commerce, how many hits on your site do you need in an hour in order to make X amount of number of dollars? That needs to be in your business plan. For Kanisha, she wants to write books. How many books do I need to sell a month in order to meet my goal? Or how many people do I need to interact with to sell my book so that I can get the return on my profit? Because you're going to have to invest some money in it. You're going to have to invest somebody else's money in it. And people want a return on their investment. So let's do an exercise. All right. 3 audiences. So we actually, you picked out what your customer will look like. Who are your audience? So I gave you in the previous slide, is it a banker? Is it investors? Is it partners? Is it customers, employees, shareholders, or the general public? Who are your audience? Identify 3 audiences and jot down key points on how you want to target that audience, because that's going to help you identify what you're going to be communicating to them. So take a couple minutes to identify who your 3 audiences are, who are you planning on reaching, and what is it that you want to say to them. Are there any questions in the chat at all? Okay. All right. Anybody want to share? General public and customers can be one and the same. Yes, they can be one and the same, but your customers are actually, no, they're not one and the same. Sorry. No, your customers are the individual who you are planning on getting the money from. Your general public are pretty much the people you want to expose your business to. Because your general public, you want them to become customers. Good question. Yes, they can. Miss Weston, yep, they can. All right, so anyone want to share who their three, their most important audiences are? And some, oh, I said key points. No, it's supposed to be key points. Sorry. You want to make to those target audiences? Anyone? You can just unmute and just talk.
I'll go. So my three are going to be employees, customers, and investors.
Okay.
I guess for employees, you know, I kind of want to give them like a laid back work environment, a fast pace, you know, with some good pay. And I also want to offer them, you know, kind of like full range of the shop. So if they have any projects at home that they want to knock out, you know, I'll allow them to, you know, do it on their free time. So for customers, you know, I want to provide a great product, a good price, and 100% satisfaction. And I guess for my investors, it's just, you know, I want to persuade them that I can return their investment, and I want to also give them the opportunity to be on some future projects.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? No? Okay, so let's do an exercise. Another exercise. Another exercise. If you are just starting, like for instance, you had a lot of ideas and you're looking to trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. I want each of you all to take I would say a couple minutes. I want to walk you all through an exercise where you can walk through a day in your business, like the best day ever. Probably the day that you make your $1 million mark. How about that? You hit the sales of $1 million. What does that day look like? So take a few minutes, close your eyes. I want you to deep breathe in because I want to take you straight to your business. Okay. All right. We're breathing in and we're breathing out. Exhale in and exhale out. You have waken up. You have awakened out of a sleep. You're excited about the day. Now that you're excited about the day because you realize today you're close to your $1 million mark. Okay. You hop up out of your bed. You're ready. You run in your shower. You get dressed. You have your cup of coffee or orange juice and you grab your bag. You get in the car. You drive. You're pulling up on your property. You're pulling up or even walking to your office. You're sitting down, you walk in, you're greeting everyone, smile on your face. Do you see it? All right. You hear the buzzing of people chattering. You are speaking to individuals. You're answering questions. You're now at the place that you're sitting at your desk. And at your desk, you're presented. Someone comes in and they share with you, boss, we made our $1 million mark. We sold our $1 million book. We've hit our target. In that moment, what matters? What matters? You take a moment, you breathe in, you smile, and you just you gather your team. And once you gather your team together, you announce to them that you all made a mark. How does it feel? What does it sound like? People are congratulating you. You receive a phone call from one of your major investors, and they are just elated that you made them a lot of money, and you're just as elated that you paid them back because you owe no man. You owe no one. Your investors have been paid off, and now you're sitting on a company that's a multi-million-dollar company. What does that look like? How does it feel? What does it sound like? Okay. You can open your eyes if you actually did the exercise. This is called visualization. Most time when we have an idea, we see the idea, and sometimes you have to sit and you have to become one with your idea. That you actually see yourself at the end of your goal. Now, we're going back to the business plan because that exercise can actually help you write down the components of your business plan. So let's talk about the anatomy of the business plan. One, you're going to have your table of content. Your table of content is pretty much everything that's going to be encompassed in your business plan. It's going to talk about your executive summary. Now, when you actually go to write your executive summary, the executive summary is the last thing you write. It's the first thing in your packet, in your document, behind your table of contents and your cover page. But the executive summary is the last thing that you write. You never write your executive summary first because you don't know the content that's going to be in your executive summary until after your business plan has been written. Your company overview. Now, the company overview is pretty much how the company got started, who started the company, what is the company all about, what are some of the goals of the company, who are some of the major team players in your company. This overview is pretty much a snapshot of your company, the overall. Is it an umbrella of other companies that fall up under it? Or is it just a standalone sole proprietorship? It's just you and your company? Or is it the company that has multiple employees? Your company overview gives a snapshot to anyone that's reading about everything about your company. The business environment. When it comes to your business environment, you actually lay out how your business operates. This is the place where you actually talk about the nuts and the bolts of your business. You talk about your business values. You talk about your client and your customer, your target market, who your business is supposed to attract. It even talks about the trends. It talks about the industry. The business environment is very key because you want to be on top of your game when it comes to your business. You want to know the industry. So that means that you're going to go to NAIS, NAICS codes, where you're actually going to get your industry codes. Those industries codes that fall up under the U.S. Department of Labor, you want to know those codes, because those codes are actually going to help you identify all of the different subsets that's up under those codes. And it also helps you when you're actually filling out your incorporation papers, or you're doing contracts. You want to be able to identify your industry that you're in. Now, it could be manufacturing, it could be healthcare, it could be education. You want to know those industries. Also, under your business environment, you want to know the trends. So you want to know who in your industry are doing the same things or similar to the same things that you're doing. Not only just within the city of Saginaw, but you want to know countywide, you want to know statewide, you want to know nationally, and you want to know globally. A lot of times businesses get started and they don't know who their competitors are. In your business environment, you want to know who your competitors are. You want to actually shop your competitors, because you want to know what services that they're offering. Because if they're offering something that you offer, then that's a direct competition. But you also want to see what areas can you fill in that they don't have, that you can actually attract more customers. Now, I'm gonna tell you, owning a business and running a business, when they talking about Shark Tank, it's a sharp world, for real. Everybody's out for the dollar. You can be friends with your competitor, but however, you want to make sure that the dollar comes in your door. So understanding your industry, understanding who your competitors are, and even understanding who your indirect competitors are. There are people that are companies and businesses that are your indirect competitor, meaning that they're not directly in your industry. However, they can grab your customers based on the services that they offer. So you want to know your business environment. Your company description. Are you a sole proprietorship? Are you what type of company are you? Are you a manufacturing company? Are you healthcare? What do you do? What is your company? How do you describe your company? Your company strategy. How are you making your money? How do you keep your employees motivated? How do you see to forecast your business? We talk about forecasting a lot when it comes into the financials, because if you're able to say in a year we want to be in this particular place, you need strategies in place for your company to say how you're going to actually get to that goal. When we sometimes in our strategies, we are not clear. Your strategies need to be clear, defined, concise, so that it becomes really quickly. If somebody asks you, how do you plan on getting to A, B, and C? One of your investors may come and ask, yeah, I see that you want to make a $10,000 a month in this one particular service. What is your strategy to get there? And you should be able to say A, B, and C. This is how we're planning to accomplish that. Your marketing plan. The marketing plan is the bread and butter to any business. The reason I say the marketing plan is the bread and butter is because this plan is how you're planning to get people attracted to your business, how you're planning to actually accumulate customers, and how do you plan on keeping your customers. Your marketing plan also advertises your business. Your marketing can be as easy as you as the person. If you're a sole proprietor, meaning a one-person company, you're the walking marketing plan for your company. So that means that anytime you step out of the door and people know of your business, how you look, how you speak, how you conduct yourself on social media is all part of your marketing plan. And it's also part of your company strategy. Now, when you're running your company, even though your company may have its own name, you're the brand of the company, which falls under your marketing. So how are you branding your company falls up under your marketing plan. So do you have a brand? How do you develop a brand? Do you need to hire someone to work with you or find a consultant to work with you to create a brand? Your brand is very important because that is what people remember. Now, if you was to ever to just see the red bullseye, what does that tell you? That's Target. So you want to get to the place that a symbol can identify who you are to the general public as well as your customers. You can look on any type of document and see a red bullseye and you'll know that it's Target. You can look anywhere and see let's see, what's another brand? The Swish sign. Or you just see that black Swish sign and you know it's Nike. That's all part of marketing. And so you have to develop a marketing plan. Now, your marketing plan can have just as many number of pages as your actual business plan, because your marketing plan is going to actually lay out step by step and timelines how you're planning to actually reach your customer, reach new customers, and retain the ones that you already have. So your marketing plan is very important. Your financial review. Oh, now this right here is so important, because this is where people just, if you don't have a acumen towards number, find an accountant, find a certified public accountant, get you a certified bookkeeper that's going to work with you for your financials. So if you're looking for investors, you're looking for banking, you're looking for anyone to do anything with your business when it comes to money, people want to know, how are you making your money? Do you make money? Do you lose money? And in your financial review as well, it also tells you, do you have too much of the wrong product, your inventory? So when you talk about your inventory, are you buying too many of one particular thing, or are you not buying enough? Are you working within a 2-week span and you find out that you're running out of a certain product by the end of those 2 weeks? You have to go back to your marketing plan. You have to go back to your financial plan and look at how you're forecasting. Where's the money going? If money comes in, where's the money going? Also, with your financial review, there's a Excel sheet, or you can actually, with your public account, which is called a profit and loss statement. Your profit and loss statement is pretty much how much money you brought in and how much money have you brought in after you paid your expenses. Do you have a profit or do you have a loss? And they also want to see a balance sheet. Your balance sheet is where you actually have all of the money that came in and went out, and it should balance itself out. That goes along with your profit and loss statement. So we'll talk a little bit more about how to build your financial statement, and it's also a forecasting sheet that goes in that financial review as well, because you want to be able to say, these X number of services we have forecast for this much, and we plan to make this much, because you're taking your actual business and service and you're attaching it to a dollar amount so that you can get your profit goal met at the end of your either the month or the year. Then your action plan. Your action plan is the step-by-step that most times people carry with them in regards to, these are your to-do list. Everything that I need to do in my business on a daily basis. You want to have an action plan because you want to communicate your action plan not only for yourself as the employer, but also for your employees. Because your employees, in order to drive them, they need a goal in order to achieve. And so you have to have those plans and those step-by-step things in place, so that way your employees know that they're making the goal, and you know that you're making your goal towards your financial dollars and your financial profit. And then your appendices. Your appendices is pretty much all of the extra documents that you need to add on to your business plan. That includes appendices, resumes of all of your employees or a key management team. It also includes letter of recommendations, letters of support, your approval for banking loans, denial of banking loans, because here's the thing, just because you got a denial for your banking loan doesn't mean that you won't qualify for money. It just means that you didn't get that particular amount, but that denial letter can actually help you get money. So never be ashamed that you got a denial letter from a bank, because I know that most people want to know, have you put in the time and what kind of work have you put in order to secure some funds? So sometimes people want to see who you have actually talked to about your business. So all of that, all of those documentations actually go into your appendices, because most times people want to know, who have you talked to? Your investors want to know, are there other investors that have been approached as well? All of that goes into your appendices. So your table of content gives an overview of everything that's listed here. Your executive summary is pretty much a one-page snapshot of your entire business plan. So all of these components that's listed up on the executive summary under the executive summary are actually in the executive summary. So your company overview, your business environment, your company description, company strategy, plan, financial review, action plan, all of that goes is summarized in your executive summary. Okay. Woo! I need some water. Are there any questions? Yes. What about business license? Should it be included? Absolutely. Business license should be placed inside of your 50 your EIN number paper should be in there. Your business license, if you have one, should be in there. Your articles of incorporation needs to be in there. What else? Any other certifications that you need for you as a actual person, because if you're a counselor, you want to make sure that your counseling license is there because it shows your credibility, and you want to have certifications or certificates for anyone that's working in your business as well. Ms. Weston, you have a question? Yes, ma'am, I sure am. I like you. She said we're gonna have some homework. Absolutely. 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 Any other questions? Anything that I have shared thus far that you have a question on? I can't hear anybody. Any questions? Okay. So let's go back to somebody mentioned in regards to homework. Flushing out ideas. Now, if you have a business idea and you just don't know where or how it should go, or what idea you need to be working on at this moment, I am going to, let me see, I'm trying to look for my my form, so then that way, because I want to make sure that before you even move to work towards writing this business plan, you're on here because you know the components of writing it. But if you have not sat down and flushed out some simple questions, and they often bios. Yes, ma'am. In your appendices, yes, ma'am. Are you going to go to person for follow up? Are you? Oh, am I the go to person for follow up for writing our business plan? Keisha. Actually, Keisha is. But I'm going to give you some resources as well, because there's some resources that are out there. I don't know how things are going with COVID right now, but I think a lot of people are doing things virtually. So if you have questions, I know that Delta College, the Michigan Department, I always mess that name up. they're located. They have individuals that will work with you, and also SCORE individual. They are volunteers who have worked in the industry, and they will work with you to actually get your business plan up and going. I don't have a problem doing it. I charge for that. That's one of my businesses. I try to actually go through people's business plans because that's a lot of work, and to write down all of your thoughts is important. So, Keisha, do you all have any resources in the SEDC that people want to have their business plan reviewed? Do you do that?
Yes. I review business plans for individuals. You can send it to me email, drop it off. I will review your business plan and give you my opinion. But also, there's the small development center that Michelle talked about. They're housed in Saginaw Valley now in the School of Business.
Oh, they moved. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, so they're in the School of Business at Saginaw Valley, and they can help with your business plan. It's a good thing if you've already started on it, or if you have some ideas and you jotted them down. So that gives you a base and it gives you a place to start. But they're there. That's a service that's free to you.
And
Um,
SBA.gov.
yes.
SBA.gov also is a place where you can actually flush out some of the things that will help position you for some of the loans that they have available for businesses. So um, share this because I think this is important because next week, what we're going to do, we're actually going to get into someone mentioned about homework. I have a couple of things that I want to share with you all. Um, let's see. Um, so that you all can get prepared. What's the name of the entity that's out of SVSU? Is it Michigan?
The one at SPS,
Yeah.
the Small Business Development Center.
Yes, that's someone was asking for the name in the chat. So, the assignment that I want you all to actually work on is I'm gonna email have Keisha if she would please to email this all to you all. For those of you all who are already currently in business, I want you to actually look at this assessment and concentrate on the areas that you need to actually strengthen. Some of these questions actually would challenge the very core of you as a person, and rightfully so, because what you want to make sure is that when you open up a business, not only are you ready to tackle on some of the mental challenges that come along with opening a business, but you also know how to tap into how to strengthen your weaknesses and then continue to build on your strengths. So if you're not in business yet and you're just trying to figure out, okay, should I be opening a business? Thank you for being here because you want to make sure that when you make that step, that you're making a good solid step. Um, Question: do you know and understand the technology necessary to be competitive in your business? What technology right now? Technology, social media. We're in COVID. A lot of businesses have gone virtual. Do you have or do you know the technology or different platforms that you can use? Can your business be moved from in person to an e-commerce? Um, when you talk about e-commerce, that means shopping online. And if you shop online, what platform will you use in order to shop online? Or being that we're in a pandemic, how your business plan should adjust itself? How do you actually now work in person with your customers? Um, Besides the state guidelines that had been stated that you need to wear a mask 6 feet apart, how do you do business during the pandemic? What does that look like? That needs to be right now implemented right now into your business plan. That needs to be a part of it. I don't think we're going back to normal as we know. We're creating a new normal. So as a new business during a pandemic, what does that look like? Do you know how to reach your customers virtually? How do you market your business on social media? Do you market your business on the radio? Do you market your business on MLive? How do you reach your customers? Or do you use snail mail? Snail mail still works. It's snail, but it works. So during the pandemic and during this time, if you're in business right now, like for instance, the young lady that are working with nails and doing manicures and pedicures for your business, have what practices are you putting in place to make sure that your business is safe for people to come in, that they won't contract COVID? Because that is a direct service. Are you allowing people in your business? Or have you set up a way where you can actually use telemonitors or telepath like you're doing for medicine right now? Do you have a system set up where you can actually talk to your customers on the phone or on your iPad? Those are some of the things you can actually consider. Have you started taking and moving your payments, if you're already existing, to online? And what platform are you using? How many platforms are you using? The majority of your customers, are they PayPal or are they Cash App or are they Venmo? How are you, those type of things of how are you planning on getting your money is important. How do you actually in your business, and I'm tossing all these questions out so that you can be thinking, because part of the homework is that you need to come up with a pandemic plan for your business. How do you position yourself for some of these COVID dollars that is available? I know that Saginaw Future just released all that. They had $3.5 million coming to the community just for small businesses. And they said they received over 700 businesses. But the process to vet those businesses out took some time, because some of the people who were not even legit, some of the people didn't even have EINs, but they said they're in business. It's like, how do you do that? How do you do that? And just if you can just meet the criteria that the city put in place, being in business for 2 years, then that shows that you have some actual financials that you can actually present to say this is how your business is flourishing or even struggling. It's okay to struggle during the pandemic, but be able to give an accurate, concise reason why your business is struggling and what type of help that you actually need. Because sometimes some people, I was in communication with Saginaw Future, and they were saying people were applying for astronomical amount of money, but they didn't have the financials to even back why they needed that much money. And it's like, okay, even though they say this money is free, that doesn't mean that you just go for the astronomical because you don't have a sustainability plan. The financials even back that you need $100,000 and your monthly income that you get in is $5,000. That don't even match. It don't even match. But then if you say, hey, this is going to help me expand because I'm buying equipment, then we can talk about, okay, this is the reason why. And then you explain how your business is shifting its way of doing things because of the pandemic through PPE and equipment and upgrades and things of that nature. Then you can pretty much actually put yourself in a position to receive that money. Okay. Any questions? I think I was saying a lot. How do you choose a bank to bank with? Is there a comparison site to see their offerings? I'm at a credit union personally. Is that a good place for business banking? Why and why not? Okay, when you're talking about banking, you really should do your homework. Our church actually just chose a credit union to bank with as a church. That means that 95% of our members are banking at one bank, at one credit union right now. Not all of their money is there, but that everyone has chosen to open an account. So I would suggest taking all of the banks and actually setting up meetings with each of those banks and ask them about their banking, their commercial banking offerings in regards to cash back on your credit card for your credit card. I would even ask in regards to what other loans could you apply for? Are they vested in the community is one? Are they a big bank? Because if you decide to go somewhere out of town, do you have other branch locations in different areas? Are they connected? Like most credit unions are connected through co-op that you can go to another credit union and withdraw money without penalty. What type of services do your business need? Do you need merchant services? Merchant services is pretty much, do you need a like a Square, or do you need to use their merchant service where they handle all of your electronic banking? You want to need to ask the question about can you deposit checks mobilely? Our credit union, you can just use your phone and deposit your checks. I love it. You want to know, are they connected to the different platforms that you're taking in? You want to know, so you really want to just search out those banks that are community oriented, actually line up with your values. Um, I would say in my lifetime, I have left banks because they didn't line up with my values. I research and I see how they're doing, just look and see. And if they're into some shady stuff, I don't be there because I need my money to grow. So did I answer that question? Did that help? Credit unions are good, especially because you can get some good interest rates, business loans and things of that nature. So if you need equipment, you want to ask about those things. So if your business uses a lot of equipment, you want to see if they have particular specialized loans for equipment. Because then that way you can actually approach them. And I will also say, when you're searching them out, find a person, develop a relationship with them, because all banks and credit unions, they are looking for your business because they want to use your money to build their portfolio. So it's really not just you finding a bank or a credit union. You want to make sure that it's mutually profitable for you and them. Okay. What are some ways to flush out ideas again? Okay, so if you're talking about your ideas and you're looking at what is it that you would like to do? One question is that I always ask myself when I have a brainiac idea, like, okay, how feasible is it to do this idea? First and foremost, what does it take for me to even flush this out? The second one is, how much money would it take? Now, money usually is the last thing because you usually don't need money to actually flesh out an idea. You just need to actually just dream big. I say dream big. When I have an idea, I think about it and I dream it all the way out. And what's currently my core value. Now, if I already have a business, like I do business plan writing and facilitation. If someone came up to me and said, "Hey, Michelle, I have this opportunity where you can do some stock portfolios, and then all you got to do is add this on." I'm not going to do stock portfolio because that's not my passion, and it don't line up with me, and it don't line up with me doing business plan writing. Now, if someone came to me and said, "Hey, Michelle, I have a grant proposal that I need you to help me with." Now that lines up with it, so I will probably entertain that and add that on as an additional service. Does that make sense? I don't know who answered that question, but okay, it's Denise. So when you talk about your ideas, If you take a piece of paper and you just start writing. Now, I would suggest this for anybody who has a business. Write your business name or whatever your business service is, and just start writing. Just put in everything that pertains to that business on that one piece of paper. And then once all of that stuff is on there, I wish I had, I have a piece of paper. I want to show you, I think I took a picture of it. I'm going to show it to you. I want to share it with you because this is how I brainstorm. I came up with an idea for First Ward, the community center. And from there, I put First Ward name in the middle, and all of the services that we offer at First Ward, I drew a line and put a circle around it. And then from there, I put all of my clients. Who do we serve? If it was our senior citizen center, I put that in there. I put a circle senior citizen center. I put the age, 55 and up. I put male, female. I put Medicare recipient. I put on medication. I put health and wellness, food programs, transportation. I began things out because at every one of those points that I have identified for senior citizens, those are services that I can provide. And so I look at all of the things as related to my target population, senior citizens. What do senior citizens need? First and foremost, they need socialization and companionship. So how do I add that as a service? They need help with their prescription medication because sometimes they got all these medications and they can be crossing. How do we find individuals to help with that? That's a service. So am I helping you, Denise, at all? This is because I am okay. So once you take your idea and you flesh it out, even for your customization business, you talk about just tires. If you're talking about customizing just rims and you can change the color, have you thought about door handles? Have you thought about engine blocks? Have you thought about tailcones?
Everything.
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
All of that is a service that you can flesh out, and then you start seeing how and who needs to actually make this happen. You're the brainchild. Are you planning on doing all those things? And then too, also line up with your passion, because if you don't have it here, you're not gonna do it. And then too, I would say this: don't let other people tell you what you should be doing in your business. Please. Girl, you should be doing A, B, and C. Child, that ain't even in my scope. I don't even know what that is, but you should be doing it. Girl, you should do, don't let nobody tell you, man, you should go ahead and do 18-wheelers. Passion, 100%. You also want to tap into an idea that you can see that is filling a need in your community. Here's the thing. We don't need another McDonald's. We don't need a McDowell's. Y'all remember that? Your McDowell's from Coming to America. What is missing in our community? That's what you want to feel. So if your passion, so that means getting out to the community, talking to Keisha and saying, Keisha, what are some of the services that we missing that we need in our community? And if it lines up with your passion, then go for it. One thing that drives a market, now a competitive market, you don't want to oversaturate a market with a service that 5 people are already doing, unless you got something special that they are not offering. Because the bottom line is 5 people running and trying to get that dollar, that's 20 cents a piece. I want the full dollar. That makes sense?
So you spoke earlier about knowing your county, knowing what's needed in the community. Is there like a website? So I'm fleshing out these ideas. So is there like a website I can go to that'll tell me instead of bothering Keisha, and I will bother you, Keisha, but I'm just saying, is there a website I can go to that'll tell me like if there's 20 transportation companies, if there's different tire shops, is there somewhere I can go to kind of research that information?
One, you can Google. If you Google the different Saginaw. Now, don't say don't bother Keisha. Bother Keisha. Keisha knows what's happening in the city. Okay? She is surrounded by people who knows what's happening in the city. She's right down the hallway from the people that give out business licenses. No, that's at the county. But she know people at the county that give out business licenses. So you can actually also tapping into the people who actually own the businesses is good too. I would encourage people to shop other businesses that are doing the same thing because they may have a niche. Now, I would say the city of Saginaw is very in tune of the businesses that's in our community and what is needed. And I will also say that if you have an idea of something that's already existing, improve on existing products. Okay. Now, I will give you an example of an improvement of an existing product. They have book clips, that most people don't read books, like physical books, but there are book clips. Somebody took a book clip and added a light to it. That's improving upon something that's already existing and making it better. There's always opportunities to do that as well. So if you see something that's being done and it can be improved upon, look at actually doing that as well, because that's a niche that somebody never thought of. So that makes sense. So that way you're not recreating the wheel, you're using somebody else's wheel, but you're improving it. Okay, we got about 15 minutes left. So, Keisha, yes, can you quickly give us an overview of the local needs? I'm asking now. Okay. Oh, someone had the question about an overview of our local needs.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So like local needs, I would say, for example, let's use a soul food restaurant. In the city of Saginaw, we don't have a soul food restaurant. Me being one that offers um, all of the soul food dishes, this nice sit down establishment that we can go to. Another one would be possibly maybe a seamstress. We don't have seamstress in the city of Saginaw. So you want to think about the need of things that's needed. So, for example, seamstress, we may need things altered. We may need clothing made, something custom made, a pair of pants. So we want to meet the need of all the within our community.
Are there any industries that need to be developed in our area, in our city? Industries that are missing?
I would say yes.
That's a good question. On the City of Saginaw site that actually have this or industry gaps.
No, we don't have any.
Okay.
I would say maybe look Chamber of Commerce because they have a listing. Everybody that's a member, you can see here some of the different industry businesses within the area. So that would be probably a good start.
Yep. And I would also say Saginaw Future.
Mm-hmm.
Saginaw Future does a lot of economic development. when you talk about economic development, about industries that can be brought here that would actually be a lifeline to your business. Like for instance, I'm thinking about Paul in regards to Napa or a custom painting company that customize and specialize paints. If they may be somewhere nearby to actually franchise with them and say, hey, what do you think about having another franchise here? I guess in my thought process, it's like you have your own, but then you want to connect to something that's bigger that will help feed yours. It's good to actually, like for instance, SBRC. SBRC is a culmination of a lot of businesses that are there, and they feed off each other. When I go in there, I probably spend too much money because I'm just hopping around, just like, okay, I'm out of there. Y'all took my money, but it's all in one place. So it was convenient. So, food places is really good, but you want to make sure that your if you're already existing, I would say on your homework for who have already operational functioning businesses, I want you to create a customer service plan. What is a customer service plan, Michelle? Well, a step-by-step plan on how you would treat, greet, retain, and recruit new customers. Now, most businesses will lose customers based on just customer service. Can I talk about it? How important it is. Let me talk about it. So we know that Sprint merged with T-Mobile, right? And I'm going to blast T-Mobile because I'm not a fan. I've been with Sprint for over 21 years. Since I had a cell phone, I've been with Sprint. I never had any issues. So I called Sprint, talking about customer service. Called Sprint. The lady was really nice. She set me up in an appointment so I can go in and do some business with Sprint. So she sent me over to the store on Tibidawasi. Well, now that everything is T-Mobile, I walk in, everything is pink. So, okay, yay. But I realized that there were other people there. And so I asked the gentleman, I said, I have an 11 o'clock appointment here. Is there anyone here to see me? Oh, I'm sorry. It's first come, first. What? After all this time, first come, first serve. I have to wait till everybody else. Then what's the point of making an appointment? So this is what he told me. I don't know why they made you an appointment because we do first come, first serve here. I said, but isn't this Sprint? He said, yeah. I said, you guys don't take appointments? Well, we do, but it's first come, first serve. Who didn't have an appointment there? Cancel it. I'll call on the phone. Thank you. Here's the thing. Local business lost money because of customer service. Now, if he was on the other end of that, he should have said, well, yes, we're honored that at 11 o'clock when your appointment, we'll get right to you. And then explain to the other customers that came in first come, first serve that she has an appointment. You want to value the dollar that comes in. Because guess what? I have a huge account with Sprint. So you just let somebody walk out the door. Create a customer service plan. How do you recruit, retain, and sustain your customers? What type of customer experience are you offering your customers? Now, that's just a bonus for you all to do that, because if you're already in business and you realize that your customers are not coming back to you, is it your customer service? Is it how your person answers the telephone? Is it how your website looks? Is it how you handle money? Do you meet the needs and do you honor your commitment? Do you have your commitments in writing? Do you have your customer expectation in writing, what they can expect from you as a business and what you expect from your customers? Those are important because you want to make sure you set a standard and people recognize standard. You don't have a standard, they'll treat your business any kind of way. And if you dollar going after the dollar and not for the service, then you lose the whole essence of why you're in business. You might as well just, find a 9 to 5. You going after the dollar. Does that make sense? Was that helpful? Okay. So next week, your homework for this week is that you are responsible. If you're already existing, you're responsible for a customer service plan. And yes, I do want to see it. And yes, I'm going to put my email in here. What's my email? I'm putting it on for everybody to see. How about that? I ain't scared of y'all. Or I want y'all to bring it. Here's the thing. I appreciate the city of Saginaw partnering with me in order for me to do this. As I said, I opened up a very successful business here in Saginaw. And to this day, and I'm going to tell you, to this day, I ain't going to say to this day, I don't know, but the very first 5 years, I know they was using their business plan. And I know they evolved that business plan because he got multiple locations. That was in the business plan. And he did it before time. So here's the thought. When you're sitting down to flesh out your idea on your business, think about your homework is to do your. I want you to identify your client. I want you to create target messages. How do you communicate? And then lastly, I want you to create a 30-second elevator speech about your business. I'm putting it in the chat. Now I threw in that customer plan. That's a bonus, but that's gonna keep your business afloat. So existing business customer service plan. I'm sorry, that's wrong. I want you to do a customer profile, a client profile, customer client. I want you to identify them. Here's the thing. There's something called market segmentation. Marketing segmentation. They're companies. This is good too. Yes, ma'am. Your target message. Your target message and your 30-second elevator speech. I want to know who you selling to. I want to know what you're, and I want to know what are you saying to them that how do you get your customers? If you can identify who your customer is and create an accurate profile of who they are, that will help you identify who you need to be marketing to, which is going to help you with your marketing plan, which is a part of your business plan. Now, next week, we're going to first start off the first part of that. We're going to talk about those things that we're doing for our homework, and then we're going to dive right into the working of writing your business plan. So bring all of your ideas, bring everything that you laid out. I mean, if you have a book of ideas and plans about your business, bring it, because we're going to organize those things in such a way that when you go to start writing your business plan, it will make it so much easier when you write through. Building a proper foundation is the last thing I'm going to say. Building a proper foundation right now is going to save thousands of dollars. You won't make all the oops, bleeps, and blunders if you create a solid business plan now. So if you're already in business, say, you know what, dang, I don't have my business plan. That's okay. Start right now. Because the bottom line is, if you have a flat tire, you stop the car while it's still rolling. So we in the pandemic, you can slow your roll down a little bit, business in order. So then when after the pandemic is over, you're set, you're positioned, and you're gonna prosper. Yay? Was that helpful? I want you all to succeed. I really do. And when you succeed, our community succeeds. And I'm going to tell you this. The city of Saginaw is full of resources, and they're full of contacts, and they're full of people who know the workings. We've done business expos, and in our business expos, people are out there and they are together and not together. Financially, they need a CPA, but you can't have all your receipts in a box. Get them receipts out of the box, somebody, and scan them puppies in. They got scanners now for your receipts. And we got to organize our stuff. Yes. And so we want all our businesses to thrive. All of our small businesses that's how communities were formed, by small businesses. And small businesses are pretty much the heartbeat of any community. We just want to make sure that you are on some good footing. Because when the multitude of dollars do come in, we want to make sure that you qualify for them and not just have Keisha keep asking, hey, we got to get his money away. We don't like sending money back. And we don't want nobody to take our money from us. Okay? Listen, you know, take it. So we're trying to do this so you can get the money so we can spend it. Am I right, Keisha?
You're very much so right.
We don't send money back. I hope you guys come back next week. If you do. I always, when I get started on here, talking about building a foundation and visualizing and flushing out ideas, people find this part exhausting. I found it exhausting. But because I had a passion and I wanted to see it done and in the earth, I put my heels in, dug it in deep, and I made it happen. And you can ride down Washington, 3100, and you can see Paradise Chapel, and you can say, dang, it took me 18 months to get that building up. Real estate and purchasing real estate included. So if you have that is, that means I'll walk through the whole process of how that all happened, because if you're talking about adding real estate and buying a business, buying a location, and the understanding zoning, that's a whole nother thing outside of business plan writing. But zoning is important. Residential, commercial, industrial, all of that is important when you talk about putting the business somewhere. Because everybody say, oh, that sounds like a nice spot, but it's residential. There are special zones. You can't put certain businesses in residential areas. And most people just feel like, well, wow, I just gotta. No, you just gotta nothing. Because you got to actually knock on doors and talk to the neighbors and say, would you accept this business in the area? I had to walk in the snow, y'all. These people down on Salina, I had to go talk to them. But I should. Keisha, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're done. It's 12:59.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for attending today. Let's give it up for Michelle for a great job
Was
today.
it good? Now listen,
Thank you,
y'all
Michelle.
put in y'all chat if it was okay, because listen, I'm full of information.
So let's
Thank
make
you.
sure that we get our homework done. All of you who registered today, I will automatically include you for next week's session. But if you know someone who wants to register or who's interested, they can still register or send me an email address and we can get them hooked up so they can also be a part of the group. and receive this great information. So
Mm.
again, I want to thank you all for your time in attending today. And we'll see you next Wednesday, same time from 11 to 1.